Peace and blessings, everyone. It's sort of like an addendum to the video I posted about my trip down to Jena, Louisiana. Remember I spoke of something, I mentioned something I want to speak on about the movement. What it is, I don't know if you read the book called The Tipping Point. I can't remember the author's name, but it was a bestseller book, and the newest one is called Blink. But at Tipping Point, it was speaking of movements that have taken place in history, and it talks about just things transpiring or happening for no really apparent reason, but all of a sudden things gain momentum, and it's a tipping point. Some things will stay steady, then all of a sudden they'll rocket, they'll take off, or they'll shoot down, decline. And the author was speaking of, if we look at it, there are things that are affecting this, and there is actually a point where things will change for better or for worse. Like I said, it's tipping point. And he spoke of there's three type of what's the word I'm looking for? Three type of people, enablers, and I'm not gonna remember the names off the top of my head because my memory doesn't work like that. But there's people who are, sociable people who are part of it, people who hold a lot of information, and people who can disseminate information, something like that. But where the Jena 6 comes in, what's been happening down there in Jena, Louisiana has been happening for a year now, and it's been out here and there. Hasn't really been covered out much by the national media, but I think there have been stories here and there, but there hasn't been a big uproar as it is what's taking place right now. And I felt that really where the tipping point of that came is there's a radio host on the station out here in California is V100 in Southern California. His name is Michael Baisden. He's an author. Like I said, he's a radio host. He wrote a couple books. But when he had found out about this story, he decided he's going to do something about it. That he was going to go down there and hold his show down there. And it seemed like at that point, when he picked it up and he started getting out there to his listeners about what's going on, all of a sudden a movement took place. Like I said, there's a tipping point. And now it seems like there's going to be a great amount of people going down there. I don't know the numbers for sure, but it appears that it's going to be a significant amount, more than just a couple hundred. We'll see. Like I said, it seems like it's out there. People call in from all over the United States, calling to a show because he's syndicated. He has shows across the state, and they're saying, "Hey, I'm going down there." And they're like I said, there are busloads of people in different places getting together, different organizations, and so I found it pretty interesting. Seeing I just read a book not too long ago, and I guess he would be considered. Like I said, there's a term for it, but once he put it out there, using his voice, his means, it took off. An example gave is Paul Revere. It says Paul Revere wasn't the only one at night who went out announcing that the British were coming. But the thing is, Paul Revere was different from the other guy. Paul Revere was someone who knew people. So he knew the people to go to. He knew the people who were well off, and that basically when Paul Revere talked, people listened. So he had a contact. So when he went out to the houses, he went out to specific houses, not just going down the street. He went down the street yelling, but he went to specific houses and warned people, and it got out like that. Whereas this other guy, he did the same thing, but he wasn't of the same type of personality as Paul Revere, and so his message just died off. So just found it interesting. Like I said, pick up a good book. It's very good, and the newer book too, called Blink, it's a very good book also. Insightful. Yeah. God bless. Peace.